Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video I'm going to be shoutcasting Elise. I actually googled how to pronounce her name in Italian, and I'm sure it was not pronounced correctly, so I apologize for that. She's doing a Cliffhanger tournament in a remote lobby that contains a lot of amazing players. There's 4 aces in this tournament, and I'll include a link to the tournament in the description. And she's carrying Defense Form, Deoxys, Fortress, Blastoise, Magneton, Clefable, and Tropius. Tropius being her 5-point pick. Then Fortress, Magneton, Clefable being her 1-point picks. And then to round out the 17, she includes a 0-point pick in Blastoise, which I actually really like. I think it's actually a really solid pick. She's going up against, in the first round, Stipes, with Medicham, Fortress, Alolan Marowak, Swampert, Golbat, and Clefable. So let's see how they do. Blastoise looks like a pretty strong pick against this team. So she's locking Clefable, Blastoise, and I forget the last Pokemon. Looks like Fortress. So she leads. So this is not good for her. Because as Alolan Marowak does resist, it's chucking away, to be honest. Does resist the charms because of the fire typing, and the Shadow Ball does a ton of damage. And then she switches out to Blastoise and is met with Swampert. I think this is a favorable match for Blastoise, unless, like, obviously the Earthquake landing does a lot of damage. But these Hydro Cannons are super energy efficient and do a lot of damage to Swampert. And here comes the Hydro Cannon. Certainly a lot less damage than Blastoise's Hydro Cannon. So Shield has to come up, or else this would KO. I guess Swampert also gets to the move much faster than Swampert, but these Water Guns do way more damage to Swampert than the Mud Shots. So she comes away with the matchup winning switch advantage, which is going to be super critical. This Alolan Marowak, let's see if it's going to bait. Nope, it's going to be not a great situation for her, because neither of these Pokemon's moves will do particularly a lot of damage. Looks like no shield. Interesting. Why the no shield is curious predicament, just because I don't know, I guess those charms would also perhaps chunk down a Alolan Marowak, and now that I expended energy. So this matchup's interesting, just because these Bug Bites do super effective damage to this Defense Deoxys, but this Defense Deoxys is able to hit it with Counter, which is a really strong move, and then Rock Slide, which is a really strong move, but no stab on it. So I'm curious on how these two will decide to play it out. And Heavy Slam coming through, doesn't quite KO. And let's see how this Clefable. So interesting that Fortress does resist the charms, but Clefable also resists the Bug Bites due to the Fairy typing. So they both kind of do resisted damage, but that charm just chunks away. So replacing Defense Deoxys with Tropius. Tropius is going to have a favorable matchup as long as it has a favorable matchup against Fortress, as long as it's carrying Air Slash, which is probably the case. And these two Fortresses are going at each other, looking to do a ton of damage. Guts Shield. Let's see if Elise is going to respond. In response, all right. Looks like her Fortress is stronger than the opposing one. I don't expect a shield to come up, because it seemed a little early. Looks like she's going to let this one through. It's also going to be a Heavy Slam, which I actually think it was a mistake to go for. I think you should have went for the Earthquake, considering that his Fortress was, or their Fortress was worse. So anyways, good play, but the Swampert has built up a ton of energy, but it's not going to do a ton of damage to this Tropius unless it's carrying Sludge Wave, which I don't think is gonna be the case. No, it's Earthquake. Definitely didn't need to shield Earthquake. Hydro Cannon would actually be a better move. I'm not sure why people do Earthquakes. Maybe it's like they're tapping towards Earthquake. And we got the shield, which is pretty huge, but there's a Blastoise in the back, and even the Shadow Ball won't do a ton of damage. Well, it'll do a decent amount of damage to the Tropius, but not enough to KO it. And I'm curious if she's going to switch. I'm pretty sure she has Blastoise in the back. Okay, it looks like a little bit of lag on that Alolan Marowak side, but the match is pretty much over. So GG, and now we're going to move on to round number 2 against Baxine, who actually attended the tournament that I hosted in Dortmund, a very strong player, rocking Clefable, Ludicolo, Medicham, a Sableye, Bastiodon, and a Golbat. So let's see how she decides to play it out. Defense Deoxys does have a favorable matchup against Medicham, since it can hit it with neutral damage with those stab Psycho Boost. And let's see, this is a power-up punch. Can't read Italian, but I think I know what that is. And these Psycho Boost are... and let's see if this is going to be an Ice Punch. Nope, another power-up punch. And as you see, Defense Deoxys is so tanky, able to really take on those ones. If this is going to be Ice Punch, though, this might do a lot of damage to the Defense Deoxys. So, yep, ends up being an Ice Punch. At least that word looked like it was Ice Punch, which I'm pretty sure it was, based on the animation. And let's see, the shield comes up. No shield. Let's see what he has in the back. He has Sableye. Oh, not able to get that Rock Slide off. That Rock Slide would have been huge, but here comes Clefable. I'm assuming he has a counter in the back. And she is trying to... a little late on the switch, but still might be okay. Just because this... I think it's like 7 or 8 Smackdowns. Well, she definitely should go for... Magnet Bomb instead of Discharge, because Magnet Bombs would be neutral as well, and as well as the Discharge, just because Steel is super effective against Rock and then resisted by Steel. And she's built up a little bit of energy with Clefable, so she should be able to. Nope, a little bit of lag. I'm not sure what's happening. That's awkward. Okay, well, that was weird. Yeah. There's quite a bit of lag there. Do they replay this match, or they just play on? I guess I will not know. Well, she looked like she brought in the same team. Let's see if this is Medicham. Nope, it's not. So she decided to let it go. Even though I think that was a winnable match for her. And she insta switches to Clefable. And man, this Clefable is just eating away at this Sableye. The Sableye is going to hit for neutral damage. Nope, resisted damage. Well, if he had Power Gem or Shadow Sneak, it would hit for neutral damage. Here comes Bastiodon. Bastiodon is not going to appreciate this Meteor Mash. It's going to do a decent chunk. Not going to like one-shot it, but... it does quite a bit, and puts this Bastiodon almost to the red. And you have options. You could come Blastoise, which is going to come just because I think Blastoise is a little safer. Just because one versus ate that flamethrower. That's definitely not the right move. But when you're panic tapping, Blastoise is kind of the right move just because there's more things in the back that could beat Blastoise than. So this is a pretty even matchup, to be honest. So no need to shield. Should be able to tank it, then hit this Hydro Cannon and force a shield onto this Medicham. And then I expect the immediate switch out to Defense Deoxys. Not to avoid getting farmed. You know, she's a pro. She's gonna get this done. So when you're thinking about what Pokemon to bring back in, there's a couple, considerations. Do you want to show your third Pokemon? Then, because if you do, then your opponent can kind of plan. So it's Power Up Punch, just playing it safe. This Psycho Boost, I don't know if this will KO, but it will at least put it into the Deep Red. Yeah, a little bit of Deep Red, and then should put it within counter range. So when you want to show your third Pokemon so they can plan around it, or and as well, like you took out the counter. Since they took out the counter, that means that Deoxys is pretty safe against this team. It does have to worry about Golbat with that Shadow Ball damage. But really against the rest of the team, it handles it pretty well. Even against Golbat, it's not that bad. So now we're going to move on to match number 3, or game number 3 in round number 2. So again, we see this Medicham versus Defense Deoxys. We know how this plays out. There's a few ways you can play it out. Ideally, you want to hit as many Ice Punches unshielded, and ideally boosted Ice Punches against this Defense Deoxys. So let's see how he decides to play it out, whether or not he's just going to go for Ice Punches. And that looks like the way he's going to probably do is just because these Power-Up Punches were not a good strategy previously. But these unboosted Ice Punches can only do so much damage, and a shield has to come up in order to protect this Medicham, in order to allow it to get to another Ice Punch. And it was probably just short. Probably had the Power-Up Punch ready. And coming in with Sableye. But unfortunately, Sableye is going to be met with a Rock Slide. Sableye is a little squishy, so it's not going to be able to tank that very well. Put it into the yellow. And then here comes Clefable. I expect no shields. Let's see if it's a foul play or Shadow Sneak. Ends up being a foul play. And then Blastoise is an excellent counter to Bastiodon, as those Water Guns deal super effective damage, and those Hydro Cannon, one of the best charge moves, if not probably the best charge move in the entire game, and ideally wants to take this Bastiodon out with the Blastoise. And this is pretty much a wrap. Gonna be able to take out this Blastoise with the next Hydro Cannon. Here comes Clefable. Oh man, beautiful switches, absolutely amazing switches. And even if she doesn't get to this Meteor Mash, which would KO the Bastiodon, she still has Blastoise in the back with the Hydro Cannon ready, and really good composure on not doing the Hydro Cannon to the Sableye, which I think would have been an okay situation, given like how far that Bastiodon was from a charge move. So, anyways, GG, staying composed, and now we're moving on to round number 3 against Marco 2 Sir 5, who I think was also at my tournament. Like a lot of these players were at my tournament, which is okay. Anyways, Tropius versus Medicham. This Tropius is dealing super effective damage with the Air Slashes. It does have to worry a little bit about the Ice Punch, but the first Ice Punch is usually not something you block. And then couldn't come with Clefable. Fortress is going to meet this Clefable. It is a slightly different matchup with Fortress versus Wigglytuff than Fortress and Clefable, just because Clefable is that much more tankier, so is able to endure this matchup a little bit better. Good job, excellent job farming. Gonna hit this heavy slam, second heavy slam, which is gonna do a decent chunk to this Medicham, and these bug bites are neutral as opposed to resisted compared to like other fighting Pokemon. Man, beautiful read. She knows that he wants to do an Ice Punch to the Tropius, and just comes in with Defense Deoxys, which just really shrugs off those Ice Punches. Let's see if she shields or not. I don't know if that shield was necessary, but she does want to keep her Deoxys topped up. And then I expect the switch out. Here comes the Rock Slide and the switch out to Tropius. Tropius should be able to easily beat this Sableye. It's pretty similar in terms of how many turns it requires to get to each of their respective charge moves. So it's not like the Sableye can just start spamming charge moves at a much faster rate. And this is a wrap. Gonna land this Leaf Blade. Really well played. Good read on her opponents. All right. Gonna lead with Tropius, and then backed up by Fortress and Defense Deoxys. See how he's going to respond. GPL's signal not found. An error I do not enjoy. Taking his sweet time. Wow, okay, how big is the scam? Yeah, right. I'm a little worried to skip ahead in case it goes into the battle. Okay, well, there you go. There's my mistake. It should start in the next like 30 seconds or so. So let's just wait it out. How can Marco respond? Well, it's a little too late. Let's go. Okay, good pick on Marco's side. This Bastion has a very favorable matchup against this Tropius, especially when it's carrying the Air Slash variant, as those Air Slashes are double resisted by the Steel. Oh, it's such a risky pick to go into Deoxys, especially when, yeah, it's like a difficult matchup to go up against. But does land choosing not to farm, which is interesting. Not going to be able to KO. I guess going to farm to some extent. But no Clefable on this team, which is an interesting choice. I'm not sure if I would have came out with Fortress, because you kind of need this Fortress for the Bastion later on, and you kind of revealed your pick. So I'm not sure this is necessarily the right choice. I know trying to farm down, and then if this Bastion comes out, oh man, which I don't know if that was. Oh, okay, interesting. A lot of really interesting. They're playing 3D chess right now, with all their switches and whatnot. And gonna land another Leaf Blade, which I expect to be. Oh no, not shielded. Wow. Okay. Doesn't want to take any risks in this particular matchup, which is really high level play. He's gonna have to shield, and then a second shield's gonna come up, but before she even can get to the Earthquake, it's gonna get KO'd by these smackdowns. Well, good play, Marco. Preserving those shields, understanding that Fortress does have the ability to one shot. The Bastion is playing at a very high level. All right, gonna come in Blastoise versus Clefable, which is a really interesting matchup. These water guns do a decent amount of damage, and this Hydro Cannon will put a huge chunk into Clefable. If it does land, it'll be like more like Clef not able to compete. Okay, that's a poor pun. Okay, gonna be able to draw out this second shield or KO this Clefable. It's gonna KO it. What does he have in the back? He's gonna come in with Sableye, which is interesting choice. And then gonna come in with Fortress. Fortress is gonna be able to do neutral damage. Oh man, okay. So this is gonna be an interesting strategy on how to deal with this. This Stone Edge won't do a ton of damage. It's still gonna leave a mark, and she's not gonna be able to just be able to smack down and down. Gonna have to hit these, and she's realizing that. Especially since the Sableye has so much energy. Ideally, she wants to hit one more charge move, but not able to. But that's fine. This Sableye didn't farm, which is actually a really good situation. And to be honest, she's in range that she could just bug bite down the Sableye. Let's see. She could also double Heavy Slam, which is probably the safer move. But I would also consider just bug biting down, and whenever you feel like you get to 2, then you can win. So clearly there she could have bug bite down, but you have the Heavy Slam ready. There's like not that much risk as it can tank another charge move. So okay, now we're moving on to round number 4 against Stuv Vomax. Gonna go against Mew, likely playing Shadow Claw. Yep, that's standard pick. But Mew is a little squishy unless it has like a pretty significant super effective advantage. It's not going to do well against this Tropius. This Tropius is able to tank it. It's doing chunks of damage. This would nearly one-shot Mew, if not one-shot it. And oh, well, maybe not. This Mew is a little tankier than I thought. Let's see if she decides to shield. She does not decide to shield. Oh, man. High degree of confidence. Oh, not a great situation for her. She is up a shield. But coming with this Tropius energy, recognizing that she doesn't have a strong Tropius counter was a really good call, and kind of safe switching into the Tropius was really good. Nice play. Talking about these European players are very underrated. And do you shield or not? Decides not to shield. And then coming in with Blastoise. Almost had it. I think a little too slow on the switch. Oh, man. Able to farm down that Mew. Gonna farm down. Oh, man. Okay. Not a great situation for this Bastiodon at all. As these Hydro Cannons are just gonna add up. This Tropius is almost KO'd, so it's just gonna be able to do like one Water Gun, and after this Bastiodon's gone, to take it out. Oh, looks like she's lagging. Or maybe she forgot the Tropius was there in the back, which would have been pretty disastrous if it just farmed all the way down. But GG. Locking in. I didn't see what she locked in at. A little too quick for me. But sure, it's a solid team. Going up against really tough trainers with solid teams. Going Blastoise into Togekiss. Interesting situation. Hydro Cannon is going to do a lot of damage to this Togekiss, but these charms are chunking away. As you can see, is she going to be able to get to a second one? She's going to have to shield. Ancient Power likely. Yep. Oh, got the buff. But the thing is, like, sometimes when people get the buff, it's like actually a curse, because like protecting it. Oh man, coming in with Tropius, I'm not sure is the right answer. Well, I guess the air slashes are doing some damage, and take it out, and then here comes Tropius to respawn. Oh, nice. Okay, nice job getting to that Aerial Ace, which is going to play a pretty huge part in this match. But man, it's built up some energy. Is she gonna? Oh man, I guess you recognizing that Tropius hasn't necessarily built up a ton of energy. She's also recognizing that her defense Deoxys is pretty safe against this team. Oh man, I think it's within Psycho Boost range, which I think would have saved her a little bit of energy, basically 5 energy, like a bit of a counter. I think she has a sack switch if she wants to win this. And she tried, but it's a little too late. Gonna come with a wild charge variant. If she would have been able to sack switch, that would have been her key to victory. She recognized that too, but it wasn't gonna happen. Tropius was a really nice pick, understanding that is a pretty safe switch against her team. So they're gonna mirror. So let's see who's gonna win this mirror match. Such a critical mirror match. Do you bait? If you land the successful bait, then you can potentially go ahead. But if you fail the bait, it's going to be very costly. Able to... Let's see if she shields or not. She does shield. And then imagine you go for the Razor Leaf. Oh, no. She just farms it down. Wow, that's aggressive play. Nice job. Going to come with Togekiss. Togekiss is going to do a lot of damage with these charms. I think like Razor Leaf would have been a better play. Oh man, not able to. It's so difficult on those air slashes. You gotta properly under tap. So again, oh man, coming with. Oh man, this is nuts. Its ancient power is not gonna do a ton of damage, but how confident is she in this fortress in the back? Would she just want to draw the shield out? Here comes the Swampert. Wow, okay. Is she going to be able to pull this one off? Let's see. If this Earthquake goes unshielded, it will go a very long way. No, it went shielded. She's going to have to double up this Psycho Boost. And she recognizes that. You might as well build up energy on this against this Swampert for many reasons. One, the mud shots do way less damage, and as well this. Ooh, is this going to be enough? It's definitely going to be enough. Togekiss is really squishy, so. GG, well played. Oh man, that was actually a very skilled match because it honestly looked like she was in a losing position. I would say like 2/3, 3/4 of the way she was in a losing position, and then she's going up against Ricky, 1990, actually her partner. So I'm sure they scrim a lot. Rocking Skarmory, Venusaur, Lantern, Mew, Clefable, and Hitmonchan. So let's see how. I'm sure these two battle each other a ton. So I'm sure they know each other like inside and out. They're both rocking blue hair. Both rocking respective GoFest shirts, I think. As I wait out Ricky deciding what his team should be. What looks good on Ricky's team against well, we'll see what happens. Okay, gonna come out Mew versus this Fortress. This Fortress does super effective damage, absolutely chunking away. Blastoise is an interesting choice. I actually don't know this matchup that well. I think Blastoise gets to these Hydro Cannons slightly. Should get to it? Does it get to it faster actually? Is it? Maybe it actually doesn't. Should be able to tank the Sky Attack, and then Water Gun down. Oh man, she definitely should have Water Gun down. I'm not sure what the reasoning not to Water Gun down, just because for sure she's gonna. I would think almost for sure she. I guess it doesn't really matter, but water going down seemed almost the right answer. So this matchup, then this is a very difficult matchup for her to come back from, being down a shield. Even though Mew does have like quite a bit of his health chunked away, probably gonna go for. Let's see if it's a wild charge. Yeah, almost for sure it was gonna be a wild charge. Let's see if this Mew decides to shield. It might decide to shield, and then let's see if it gets the second shield. Not able to get to the second shield. Is this gonna be another wild charge or like a psycho boost or surf? Surf's a nice pick. And wild charge or surf? Surf, not gonna be enough to KO. Oh man, it maybe if she decided to. I don't know. This is kind of a tough matchup. I think if she would have decided to feint down the Mew instead of hitting that psycho boost. Obviously, if that Mew would have hit wild charge, it would have KO'd. So, GG. Ooh, okay, all right. Gonna come Deoxys, Tropius, and Blastoise. All right, gonna come Deoxys versus Skarmory. A favorable matchup for Deoxys, but because she's not rocking the Thunderbolt variant, it's like not as dominating, but still, it's a win in all shield scenarios. So I expect no shields. Oh, she did shield. Okay, she really wants this Deoxys, and then kind of coming with Mew, which is a good pick. Just because only the wild charges is neutral, the surfs are resisted. I guess that would have been the case with Blastoise would have been super effective. So very good at switching. Man, do you shield or not though? Let's see if it's gonna be a wild charge. It is a wild charge. Oh man, this. I guess you come with Blastoise, able to feint it down, and then you're gonna come with Lantern. Oh man, not well. Blastoise and let's see how these two decide to play it out. Does it tank it? It does. Is this Psycho Boost going to be enough? It is, but is it going to be enough to... Oh, man, huge uphill battle at this point in time. If she had Skull Bash, which I think is a moveset variant that a lot of people like in this cup, she's going to shield. She's going to be able to get to this Hydro Cannon before this Lantern can get to Thunderbolt. Well, at least she should. But I don't think this is going to be enough. Not enough. GG. Ricky takes this particular... Very close, though. The only other strategy was, like, potentially... I don't know. That was kind of a tough matchup. She played extremely well. Just... had not a great matchup consideration. Well, she won the lead. It's just that Mew to Tropius matchup was okay. Ended up losing switch advantage, which was, I don't know if it was like enough to necessarily overcome. Didn't necessarily have a check for Mew without that Fortress in mind. But well played. Excellent job in switching, conserving energy, understanding, like excellent switcher, like lots of really good switches, especially to make sure that you still maintain a positive matchup, and really, really well played. So hopefully, if you found that helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you, Elisa, for the videos. And I'll see everyone in the next video.